Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely been a good minute. I think it's been a little more than a week. I ran into a little bit of complications after having a COVID vaccine, and just finally starting to feel better. I don't know whether I got a minor case of it, but I would just say that I don't want to go through that crap again. I wouldn't really have gotten this vaccine, however, it's been incentivized through my work that if we get the vaccine, then we don't have to wear the mask anymore. And that's the lesser of the two evils for me. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Nothing more. I ran into a gamut of symptoms that it was very rough. I was fine for about 20 hours after getting the vaccine, and then all hell broke loose. So, any which way, today, trying something just got in the mail the other day. We are going with Stirling's Margaritas in the Arctic. Okay, check out the cool polar bear there. He's got a tattoo just like me, although mine doesn't say glacial on it. But this is the glacial Margaritas in the Arctic. I didn't end up getting the splash because I already had a sample from when I ordered a sample puck of this stuff. So I sent the rest of the sample off to a buddy. He'll be getting it sometime here shortly. So any which way. So, well, it's about time to hang the cap and get started. Oh, by the way, we'll be using today the haircut and shave synthetic brush and the Lather Me Whiskers recreation of the George Wolstenholme & Sons 1850s Sheffield Barber's Notch Razor. So we're going to wet the face. The scent on this stuff is awesome. Real heavy lime scent. I mean, it smells like a margarita, and you can obviously, because of it being glacial, you can smell the menthol as well. So we're just going to see how cold this stuff is, because I've been one here lately to love to use the Stirling frost drops on just about everything. So this one I'm assuming I don't have to, because when I first opened this up and started smelling it, you talk about your nasal passages opening up. So pretty awesome. But I wouldn't necessarily say this scent is real boozy per se. Some people might. I mean, I like it. It's one of those fun scents that I mean, I'll always keep it around. Don't get me wrong. Is it an everyday driver? Probably not. But I definitely love the scent, and I'd definitely be keeping this around for a long time. And with Stirling being a 5.8 ounce tub, you can bet that, I mean, if you look, there's more than enough in there. So, any which way. I might have got a little too much there. One thing I know I did forget is my alum block, so I'm going to have to dig that out. I think it's just in this drawer, though, so not like I gotta go fishing it out of my cabinet over there. Alright, that should do. Grab the alum block, get a little love there. We should be good to roll. I hope all of you guys have been doing well. You know, if you guys are up for getting this vaccine, I hope your side effects aren't as bad as mine were. It was rough. I mean, the worst of it was probably about 30 hours, but the aftermath of the coughing again, the sneezing, the just, you know, I ran into it where when I was coughing and everything else, it felt like I was almost drowning from all the nasal discharge that it was causing. So that's just me. I mean, I hope I'm a rare case. been using so many hollow grinds lately, this thing is quiet. The silent but deadly, if you will. I have been using a WEC here lately, here and there, to for two things. Number one, I'm taking the WEC on vacation with me because I don't want to take any of my straight razors along and have to strop them, because then I got to take a strop along. And driving all the way to Florida, you can imagine what could probably happen to all that crap. So the WEC blades are cheap. Is it as comfortable as a straight razor shave? Not quite. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm still very, very cautious because of how light it is compared to any straight razor that I have. So, I mean, I guess it's just a matter of, what you're comfortable using. And for me, something that light is definitely a little bit intimidating still. So, I mean, obviously, just like with a straight razor, the more you practice with it, the easier it's going to be. I've told people it's not going to be an everyday thing. So, for those of you who did end up going through and getting the COVID vaccine, were any of you guys' reactions particularly rough? All of mine was on the first vaccine, because I had COVID, which is another reason that I didn't know if I want. And by the way, I'd rather have COVID again than go through the reaction that I did with all that crap, because I wasn't that sick with COVID. Am I saying that's the case for everybody? Absolutely not. I'll say this though, when before COVID really hit its peak season, if you will, mind you, like October through, let's just say, February, I had done my research on, what kind of things to be proactive should I be exposed, because I was an essential worker and was always at work. I never missed a day of work for this stuff. I mean, work wasn't shut down on account of this. And so, after speaking with my doctor and, consulting some medical journals and stuff like that, there were certain vitamins that you could be taking, vitamin D supplements, which I already took, but they recommended a higher dose, as a preemptive measure. And so I started taking, so when I had COVID, I think that I was more prepared for it than other people. Not everybody, but then the masses, we'll just say. And so that probably helped lend to my case not being quite as severe. So I'm going to put you guys on hold. I'm going to rinse up real quick, and we'll get lathered back up for pass number 2. So hang tight. Okay, we're back. So just to piggyback off of what I was just saying, and I'll kind of close that topic out, was I am in no way saying that I cracked the code for how to be best prepared for COVID. All right, that was just my rationale or my reasoning why I thought that I had more of a minor case than most people end up getting. Okay, because for those who didn't see any of my videos right around Christmas time when I finally came back on after about 3 weeks off, I want to say. Yes, I missed quite a bit of work, but my reasoning, the only thing I had was a cough, and it was a cough that I just couldn't shake. I didn't spike a fever, I didn't lose taste or smell, so I was around friends who had the same symptoms as me, and another friend who lost taste and smell, and I know darn well that he had to have encountered it, or he and I had to have encountered it together. So his symptoms were worse. Is he that proactive on, his health? Probably not quite as much. And so that's why I kind of attributed my, I guess, more so lack of symptoms to just being a little bit better prepared. I'm sure any one of you can tell me, that, hey, my uncle did this, and this, and he still got sick and he passed away. And I completely get it. All right? I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying I cracked the code or anything else. That's the only reason that I can come up with as to why my symptoms were less severe than others. Now I'll say this, that vaccine, I haven't changed any of my regimen as far as, my vitamins or anything else. I take pills like an old man or an old lady. I've got the whole, the little pill thing with each day, like day and night, Monday through Sunday, or Sunday through Saturday, however. And it's laid out for me every Sunday. I count all those pills out for the week, and nothing's changed since prior to me getting COVID. But that vaccine about wiped me out. I was bad. I didn't lose smell, but I had about every bad symptom you could think of after that vaccine, and that was the first one. So, off of that topic, something I am very proud to report. My son, his soccer team went 5-1 through their regular season, and they lost to one team. It was the last game of the season, and they lost 3-1. That was the closest game anybody's played with that team. That team's the Norwayn Bobcats. My son's the Wayndale Golden Bears. Okay? The closest anybody scored with Norwayn was they lost 5-1. So, but any which way. So they entered tournament season a few weeks ago. Tournament play. They won the first 2 games, made it to the championship game against Norwayn again, and ended up winning 3-2 at their place. So, so we got a little bit of revenge. That was their only loss of the season, was to my son's team in the first game, and this is why I think it's so impressive. In the first game, I think we only had the ball in their half of the field for 2 minutes of that whole game, the whole hour-plus game. The second game, I think Norwayn only had the ball in our half of the field maybe 4 to 5 minutes the whole game. So the roles completely reversed. So any which way. I think I'm going to take care of the across the grain pass off camera, and we'll be back with the post shave in just a few minutes. So hang tight, guys. Okie dokie, welcome back. So, just finished with the third pass, which the across the grain, and just a little bit of cleanup on the neck. So, You guys didn't miss much. Today, well, actually, I think I'm going to grab the Thayer's Witch Hazel real quickly. By the way, if I didn't already say, today's Wednesday, which is my Friday. Tomorrow I've got about 6 yards of dirt being dropped off because we're leveling out my backyard because I've got kind of one of those like valleys in the back. So we're going to level that out and make it look a hell of a lot nicer. So we're starting with 6 yards, going to let it, rake it into place, let it rain and pack it down, and then we're going to bring a few more and then drag it into place, let it rain, pack it down. I'm hoping by the middle of July that I'll finally be able to take my tampener out there and start thudding down a little bit, but it's going to be a process. This has been like a 4-year project of burying a sump pump out there, which took a hell of a lot of back-breaking work because I couldn't get an excavator in here, so it was all done the old-fashioned way, so anyway, not to bore you guys. So I'm going to use some of the unscented balm, and then, like I did say, I do have the sample size from Stirling, which, I've used their barbershop one before I bought the actual bottle, and I bet you I got probably at least 12 shaves out of it. So, I will be ordering the regular bottle here shortly, just a matter of, I had a few things I wanted to get, and the aftershave had to take a back seat to a few other things, so no big deal. But, any which way. So this is the mini Margaritas in the Arctic, in case you couldn't see it. This is kind of a tap and play game with this because its flow is very erratic on this. That sounded terrible. But now you smell it a little bit more with the aftershave. I think it almost smells like a green jelly bean. So, which is lime. Unless you're on those Bean Boozle jelly beans, then it's probably like boogers or something gross. Fresh cut grass, I think, was one of them. But, so, just a touch more because this stuff it smells great. It is kind of, we'll see, here's the lid you're dealing with, okay? So if you can imagine, and there is like a little, if you can figure out where the pour is, if you can turn it that way, you'll get out a little bit more. But any which way. So I haven't even, it's still all the way up to here. And I've used this, I think, like 3 times. So these little sample things will last you a while, especially if you're unsure if you're going to like the scent or not. I think it's like $3.50, maybe $4. More than worth it. So today we went with the haircut and shave synthetic brush, the custom scales, George Wolstenholme & Sons. Custom scales were made by Lather Me Whiskers, and as well as and it's got a cool golden spacer wedge, if you will. And this razor is a wedge, by the way, if you couldn't quite tell. There's the grind on it. And today we used Stirling Soap Company's Glacial Margaritas in the Arctic. So I like the scent. It's a fun one, but I'm kind of a sucker for some of those fun scents, so it's just kind of my thing. So any which way, today, like I said, Margaritas in the Arctic, the glacial version by Stirling. That was today's star. So you guys, I gotta bounce, gotta get ready for work, still gotta pack my lunch. I know it kind of sounds like a broken record, but this is the time of the shave. So you guys have a great day, night, whenever. Have a good weekend. I'll hopefully talk to you guys again soon. Hopefully it won't be as long of a hiatus as since the last time we spoke. So you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you again soon. Keep your shaves clean, keep them wet. Later, guys.